We're live.
We are live. Actually, I think I'm going to turn the light up a little bit because it's a bit weird.
It's looking a little different here, isn't it? I changed the office around.
Yes.
Now my desk faces into the room, and I have less space behind me.
Yes.
Do you think
I'm trying that out.
Do you think it looks more professional?
I definitely think so.
Really?
Yes. Having all that wide open space behind us, just like I feel like it made it since that's made visuals like hard to read and process.
Oh, maybe there's a bit better quality to our skin tones.
Yes. Yeah, like we get much more even light here. I feel like I'm still seeing some artifacting in the preview. I don't know how that's
What do you mean by artifacting?
like this like the light is sort of flickering along the edges of the.
Oh, I see. It's my bro.
Yo, bro.
So the girls came up with a new name for him.
Oh.
Gumford.
Gumford.
No, was it Gumford or Gumbert?
I don't know, but both of those are really good.
Shoot, you have to tell me because I can't remember. Because I was talking with them about nicknames and
so then I was like, what would Gum be short for?
Yeah. Gumbert would be even better if that's not what it was, because when he was little, he had a beloved teddy bear named Bert. So that would be a great homage. It was Gumbert. Okay.
That just reminds me of the whole stupid meme of I'm going to name my daughter Liz, but it will be short for lizard. And I actually think apparently Meg on Family Guy's full name is Megazord.
Of course it is.
Because Peter Griffin is that kind of person.
I'm going to just send a link to the person I was chatting with. I'm going to swing by. So I've just been like watching videos, like shorts and reels and stuff of if there's a baby in it, I'm watching it. Because it's like, I don't remember babies. I need to watch videos with babies so I can.
What are baby?
What are baby? I don't know what this is. Can anybody tell me what's happening here?
Well, why not? No.
Oh man. So Gum's been feeling pretty craptastic lately.
Oof.
Not been in work and stuff, so that stinketh. I didn't make a message in the WhatsApp group.
Oh.
I should do that. Yes. You can tap dance for Gum.
Or
we can have some male bonding time.
Or otherwise, this is how I entertain the third graders that I was substitute teaching today. Wait, it's hard to make the visuals work right for the camera. Yes, that. And then there. Yes, I can remove my finger. Although what really impressive was the
live now.
Come and join us.
Sorry, I didn't give a warning sooner.
Well, if they had channel notifications on YouTube, they would have known when we scheduled it.
But those notifications are not
consistent. I mean, I don't like, and I say that like I don't have any. I don't do push notifications. Like,
because you're subscribed to too many people.
Yeah, and I've just been like, I'm like, no, And also I spend enough time on YouTube that if someone I'm interested in uploads, I'm gonna see it because I'm there every few
Yeah.
hours anyway.
So it says there's 2 viewers. So who is the other one? Say hello.
Well, some people don't want to chat, and that's okay.
They don't have to chat, but it's always nice to know who's there.
Yeah.
If they want to say.
Yes.
Oh man. So I've been getting some actual work.
Oh.
It's Chris. Currently away, so don't know how long I'll stay. You're off away from the flat.
On an adventure.
Hopefully not an on-foot adventure. He broke his feet.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you know how I am.
Yes.
He didn't literally break his feet, but he really hurt himself.
Oof. Sleepy.
But thought, hang out.
Yes.
Yes. Sleepy but hang out is the theme of this episode.
I'm not really sleepy, but I'm always tired.
Always tired.
All became clear where I am in a video, possibly. All will become clearer.
Oh, yes. And we have 3 friends who are here now, so we're officially YouTube famous.
Yes. But yes, as you said, I'm always tired. I have been. I turned in my massive project. We ended up. I think the final thing was like the final PDF document I sent in was somewhere close to, or maybe exactly, or around 50 pages.
Wow.
Now, not all those were full pages of text. Like there, some like half pages, and then there's like, I think the last 3 pages were all just the reference list, which represents so much, like, which also like represents more time than a lot of the text.
So many hours spent looking for one sentence to back up the thought or idea.
Yeah, it was like I was like, I need some sort of like scientific evidence for this claim, and then just reading through paper after paper is like, nope, no, or well, I was skimming. I didn't really. Very rarely did I read through a paper in full. Well, no, I never read through a paper in full. I only read through the relevant parts.
And the parts that you read more in full were parts that you didn't actually need, that were just interesting to you.
That could happen too, yes. So then now there are like, and now there are 3 other papers of like similar length that I will need to read to be able to discuss and comment on, especially one, I'm not sure which one it was yet, that I will be able to really pick apart. Oh, you did an 8,000 word dissertation. Will the digital age and be the end of the artist's sketchbook?
Wow.
I would want me to read the entire thing out on YouTube. Yeah.
Dang. 8,000. How many pages would that be?
I don't know. So that would be slightly less than, I think.
Internet's being wonky.
Yes. But 8,000 pages is a lot. It was in 2011. So, yeah, that would be really interesting to follow up on that.
Yeah.
Yes. I suppose the digital age has not entirely been the end of the artist's sketchbook, but the weather's been sort of crazy today, so that might be affecting our internet.
So hopefully it's not going to bloop out too much more. But I think that topic could be a really interesting video, like revisiting those notes, kind of a video essay style. Seeing how differently you feel about it now.
Hello, Kim.
Oh yeah.
And, oh right, I keep forgetting that we can actually put comments on here. Yes.
Oops.
His conclusion was we use whatever tool is available to us, and it wouldn't be the end. Yeah. So that would have been my guess too. Like also from looking at what I have know of artists. After yes, there was supposed to be a comma after the no. Yes. No, the conclusion was we use whatever tool is available to us, and it wouldn't be the end. Yeah, that's sort of what I've seen too. Yeah. We talked about what is it, Scott Christian Sava, who does like he shows off his sketchbooks on YouTube and stuff. He's, but he is also like a
Monique's
digital artist.
here. Lunchtime.
Yes. Oh. Lunchtime.
We were just talking about Morton finished his big project and sent it in, and Chris was talking about his dissertation of the digital age being the end of sketchbooks, and it's just like I just cannot believe that it could be, because you need to have visceral things to work with now and then. Digital is great; it's got its place, but I could never just not have a book to put my planner and to write poetry thoughts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I imagine it has to be the same for people who actually have artistic skills. I mean, visual artistic skills. My skills aren't that visual. Well, that's not true. My ATCs.
Yeah, you do.
My ATCs are awesome, man.
Yeah,
I was flipping through them and I'm like, dang, who is this amazing artist? Oh yeah, it's me.
Yeah, it's like you do. I mean, you've sort of dabbled a bit with paint and such, but you're mainly a collage artist. But that's also
I'm a multimedia artist.
Yes, I mean that's also true because like you video editing
That's
is
true.
also multimedia art.
Yeah.
So yes,
my brother might have COVID. Not the plague. Haven't you already had it?
Well,
I know you can't get it again.
Yeah, because
but that
with
sucks.
the different strains and such.
Stinking sickness. Who's in charge here? Hope mom doesn't get it too. I know that you guys lived in the same house and stuff, and you have more like physical contact with mom than with papa. We don't actually call him papa, by the way.
Mom and papa.
Mom, mammy, and papa.
Mother.
Oh man. So, Okya and Monique, have you guys ever done big, long dissertation type projects before? And if so, what was the theme of them? Is this your first one?
I mean, I did do the one that didn't pass, which was.
But you still put a lot of effort.
Yeah,
into
we
it.
put a lot of work into it, just not quite enough. So that was a thing. But yeah, so this is the first one that, well, I mean, it's not, we haven't passed yet. It's only to
but
be
you're
examined.
gonna pass.
But yeah,
Dagnabbit.
I have a good feeling about this one.
Are you at liberty to say what the theme is?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's good. Like it's going to be made. If it passes, it's going to be publicly available.
But none of our friends here could read it because it's in Swedish.
Yes. Well, right.
Swedish.
Well, we're gonna have to write an abstract in English, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're supposed to like write the abstract summary in English too.
Well, it's great that you have such an advantage there.
Yes. But yeah, no, it's about early grading, because my writing partner just so happens to be working at a school where they're doing a thing like they recently decided in Sweden that all pupils get like course grades starting at grade 6, but schools can choose to start giving grades in grade 4. And my writing partner works at a school which has chosen to do that. So then we were like, hey, we can interview some of these 4th graders who are about to get their first grades and see how they feel about it and how it affects them and things like that. And that's sort of
Isn't that just so interesting to think of for those of us in the American side of the world? To think of not getting grades until 4th, 5th grade. Like
when I was in school, we got our first grades like in grade 8.
wow. Man, it's just so different. Like I almost failed 3rd grade.
Yeah, which is just
I was almost held back. That was when the math started getting hard. Was when I was 8. No, was 7. Oh boy.
But Aoki about that Aoki wrote in high school I did a research thing on the DNA sequence for the protein that helps repair DNA breaks in healthy cells.
Oi, oi, oi. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Respect.
That's pretty cool. Oh, and for Uni, research project on connectivity based on magnetic field close to those here. Okay, that's wait.
Morton's excited now.
You were doing like superconductor research. That's pretty cool.
And I'm like, ooh, I have no idea. That could have you could have literally written that exact sentence in Dutch, and it would have made no difference to my understanding. So as Chris says, you can put that on the screen. I'll have to translate the grades into what that would be. We have year 2, year 3, etc. here. So yeah, in 4th grade, I was 9.
Okay, yeah, because in Sweden, 3rd graders are 9. I know that because I was substitute teaching a 3rd grade today, and they were talking about turning 9.
But also, my birthday's in the summer, so I was younger than everyone.
Right, that's true too. And that's also an interesting thing about different school systems that I would love to like. If I was going to go into like full research academics, which I won't, like that's a subject that would be interesting to see. Just the difference it makes. That basically in America, you get placed into a class based on which school year you were born in. Well, in Sweden, you're placed into a class based on which calendar year you were born in.
But America's a big country, so
at least in your region.
Yeah, it could be my region. It could be Utah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you want to geek out some more over Okia?
I got to work at the High Field Magnetic Lab and measured fields higher than postdocs have access to in most countries. Oh man, I got to play with so when I was in high school, because I did like a science focused program in high school, then we got to do a field trip to the Royal Academy of Technology in Stockholm. It's just like one of the big engineering schools in Sweden, and engineering colleges in Sweden, and they want to get people to apply to study there. So they invited our class to come over and just do some experiments, and of course when the high school students that they want to apply to their college come there, they bring out the fun stuff. So we got to do some stuff with like lasers and prisms, and then also liquid nitrogen and superconductors and stuff. And it's just crazy the stuff that happens.
You had originally wanted to do math and science, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm still doing math and science, but I'm not doing it at like that level. I had at one point in time considered there was like a parallel, like double major thing that was run from that college together with a different one, where basically you got degrees both in teaching and engineering. I'm glad I didn't go for that, because
that's just too much pressure.
Because just teaching school has been kicking my butt at times, and so doing that plus engineering, that would be rough.
So Chris says that may be year 5 or 6 for age 9. Secondary is year 7 onwards, age 11-ish. Sixth form is year 11 and around age 15 or 16. Complicated keeping track of all these systems.
Yeah.
I can't do it. And I believe my brother said I never knew that in reference to the fact of me almost flunking 3rd grade. I think it really goes to that's when school started getting hard for me in being the neurodiverse adjacent, being hesitant to diagnose myself.
But being able to tell that you certainly have some neurodivergent symptoms.
Yeah, because I just could not concentrate. If it wasn't fun and interesting, and if it was too challenging and it made me feel stupid, like math has always made me feel stupid, then I just wouldn't do it. And then it would be time for parent-teacher conferences. And then they would say, Katie's got a lot of homework to do or she's not going to pass. And they would chain me to the table, not literally, and make me sit there until assignments were done.
Yeah.
And that was a pattern that existed for many years, all the rest of the years of school for me, pretty much. Okay. What? Okia made holograms?
Yes.
Help us, Obi-Wan. You're our only hope. That kind of hologram?
Well, but of a rat skull.
What?
Yeah.
You can't make holograms. Come on. Stop lying. Holograms are made of science magic, not for mere mortals.
Yeah. What was that? Like I have sort of informally diagnosed you based on like the course in special education that I took with pseudodyscalculia.
Oh, that's
or however you say that. Is
that like the self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yeah. Okay. So dyscalculia is like dyslexia, but for numbers. And pseudo, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Dyscalculia or whatever is basically where it's a psychosomatic condition where basically you have been conditioned by your environment and by yourself to believe that you cannot learn math, and which makes you exhibit the symptoms of being unable to learn math even when there is nothing actually physiologically preventing you from doing so.
But do you know, I do not push that onto my kids.
Yeah.
Like any of the things, disliking Mondays, disliking math, whatever. I'm like, yeah, math is fun. Like I lie out of my teeth for the sake of my kids to not put anything on them to condition them to think negatively about things. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe traits be interesting if full neurodiverse or not. I had Chris's tied his laces together and we don't know why. Just was using as a fidget toy.
You were stimming with your shoelaces.
Stimming.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Like, oh, that's special. Why would you tie your shoelaces together? You're gonna fall down, you weirdo.
I was just drilling holes in all my erasers with my pencils. That's how I was stimming in school most of the time.
Would it be?
I found one of my old erasers. Like it's bone dry. It's like hard, but it still has like it's full of holes where I was just drilling the pencil into it during. Like I probably like at least a third of each eraser I ever had in school like was just wasted on like me digging holes into it.
I would do so many things that I recognize as stimming now. Like I would you think leaning back in your chair to have that feeling of tilting?
I suppose it could be, yeah.
But I would play with glue on my hands and make spider webs and spend hours picking it off. There was something else I thought of, but I lost it.
I had the opposite. I was very good at school all through high school. It doesn't even say much about how smart you are. School just tests very specific things.
That is so true. Schools do test specific things towards specific means.
And if And if you're neurodivergent and your hyperfixations happen to be on things that school finds valuable, well, congratulations. Life gets easier for a while.
You get rewarded.
Yeah.
And get told how special you are.
Which was, and I was such a weird, like, I was a weird case because I had a bit of both. I had an easy time learning things. I had an easy time like achieving on tests and such. But I also like never did any homework and things like that.
He was kid. He skated through life.
Yeah, like it's sort
not
of
doing
the whole thing.
Not
like
paying attention, not doing work, and still excelling.
I'm good at science. Like I had great, like especially like chemistry, physics. I always had great grades in that. The only like the worst grade I got in high school was basic, like the intro to science, like all of the complicated like chemistry, biology, physics things. I got like the equivalent of like A's and B's pretty much. That one, like I barely passed
because it was boring.
Because 1/3 of the grade was a solo project, which I did not complete because I couldn't do that. Because like that was, and that's the whole thing. That's the reason why I feel like I am like gonna pass this big project that I just turned in when I didn't last time, because this time I have a writing partner who's kept me on my toes and been like and has been on top of things and made sure that I have stayed on top of it.
We spent 9 years working together 24/7, and I don't miss that. Wait, don't read while I'm talking. You're distracted. Because it's so nice that I don't have to depend on you to do your jobs so that I can do my jobs, and I don't have to nag you to do things. And it's nice to have work separate from us.
Yeah. Oh yes. Okay. That's that kid too. The university came along, it all came crashing down. Yeah. I did
the real world-ish.
Like I did decently well in university too, up until the first time I was doing this big project, because the writing partner I worked with the first time was also not overly motivated, and like neither of us really pushed.
Oh wait, go back up to there. What Chris said. I was tested negative for autism, which I think is right, but I masked heavily that day. Like you really do learn to do what people expect you to do. And my brother said, my psychiatrist says I'm on the spectrum, but I don't want to believe it. Well, the thing with that is that there's too many negative, toxic stereotypes.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it being.
Yeah, it's like a lot of highly successful people are on the spectrum.
Yeah, that's like almost a cause of success.
Yes.
Is the superpower.
What was that? There's this stupid, it was SMBC Comics was like, wait, I just realized something. People people with neurodivergent disorders are overrepresented in research science fields. Wait,
what?
But
what
that means
be the connection?
No, but that means autism causes vaccines.
Oh. Hopped out of the school because I did it too well. What does that mean? Like you skipped a class, or
does it mean he masked his neurodivergence too well and then ended up? I don't know.
You'll have to explain what you meant by hopped out of the school. And Andrea says, believe me, can you pull it up?
Yes.
I struggle a lot more with my ADHD than my autism.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about ADHD and articles and things over the time. And it's like, man, I wish I had known this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I wish I could have supported you better in the ways that those symptoms resonate with you.
Yeah. It's not a superpower. It's just different. And unfortunately, our society is not aimed to help everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why it's good, like, for Wes, if you can be properly diagnosed as being on the spectrum, like if that turns out to be true, like that's the important thing, is that like it doesn't have to change anything about how you see yourself, and it doesn't have to change how other people see you unless you want it to, but it will mean that might make it easier to understand what you need to function more easily in society.
It's like,
because society is not going to help you unless you demand it.
It's like therapy doesn't just magically make everything go away. It gives you the vocabulary to recognize when behavior is toxic, and the steps to calm yourself and work through things, and it gives you vocabulary.
Yeah.
So having the vocabulary to know what's going on in your brain, that's beyond valuable.
Yeah, so it was 16 hours of testing to be diagnosed with autism. Oof.
Dang, that must have been intense.
But I was like,
Morton, feel how hard it is right there.
Oh yeah, that's
maybe a bum.
Might be the bum.
When sitting down here, and I sometimes grab Morton's hand to feel Pickle moving around. I'm not feeling movement now, but it's just really
just leaning out against it.
Can't breathe sometimes.
Oof.
It's like these hard parts of my stomach. You can't even push down at all, hardly at all.
Oof. I was gonna say, oh yeah, but the whole thing of like, things aren't aimed to help everybody, which they should be. Like, I saw this really fascinating YouTube short that is like this college professor who was like, I have not approved a single student or something like disability accommodation request in 5 years because I haven't had to, because I took all of the requests I got early on in my career, looked at the things that people with those needs asked for, and was like, hey, all of my students could benefit from having recordings of my lectures and extra time for their tests, and no punishment for late turn-ins. All of those things are things that, like, that's just good for everyone to have, so that they can actually because what I care about is that they show that they learn the material and show that they understand it. Then, like, how long it takes or what methods they use to get there, it's like, why do I care? And it's like, so yeah, it's like, it's really
and I'm just having all these memories come back of my school experience, just you saying that, like how the transition between elementary school, which ends at like age 10, to middle school, which is like 11, 12, that in each of those transition times, they were like, going to prepare you. We're going to be harder on you because they're going to go harder on you then. And just that feeling of, oh, it's going to be even worse. It's going to be even less grace for just not being able to concentrate and it being hard. Oh, so
yeah, speaking of accommodations.
Yes. Know thyself.
Yes.
Gaia said, I can see you clearly. Has my eyesight rapidly deteriorated?
I guess it was just like a drop in bit rate.
Hopefully it was just that.
Yes.
No eye deterioration happening on my clock.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I was thinking of. Oh right, but the whole thing also about that you can't get, like, most of that society will not try and figure out what you need. They will just, what was it? I had to hop out of YouTube and now everything's clear. Okay.
Yay.
Wait, shoot.
Don't read and think at the
Yes.
same time. It doesn't work, my love.
If you design computer systems for people with cognitive disabilities, it generally works well for everyone. Yep,
Yeah.
universal design.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's, to me, it wasn't, we're going harder on you, but let's learn to plan things because you won't always get this intensive guidance. Yeah.
I mean, my middle school was pretty big, and then my high school was 1,500 kids. So many people. There's just so much more room to fall through the cracks.
Oh, that's what he meant. He was talking Chris was talking about his shoelaces, stealing the shoelaces. He literally hopped out because he tied the laces together too well and couldn't get them up again. Okay, that's, yep.
Aww. I think you should recreate that in a video.
Yeah, that's the sort of content that, like, that's like such
recreating my school stems.
But also that's just like a TikTok or YouTube short of like me stimming in class by playing with my shoelaces, and then cut to me having to hop out of class because I can't untie my laces again. Yeah, it's like,
get some different angles of like the hopping.
But then you should for the video like learn to do one of those like really cool like decorative knots. It's like,
yeah,
there is some crazy stuff that people can do with knots.
I'm sure there is. Andres says, I am doing cognitive user tests at work. Is that like kind of just to see what's going to work best for people?
Yeah.
That's my guess.
So he's a tester for, because he's a guy with some cognitive disabilities. So.
But I had low self-esteem as a kid. You feel like if you can't do well at certain things at school, you're not smart. Isn't that just so sad?
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm a smart person.
Yeah.
I have a different kind of intelligence than the science and math kind, but I have a pretty dang good vocabulary, and I can understand and work through a lot of things. And I think I have really high emotional.
Yeah.
Like I'm so much, now that I have more self-help psychological tools than I did before, I'm like so much a better parent, able to stay calmer than I was before, and seeing them and seeing their needs and seeing what's motivating the behavior, that it's like, it's not bad behavior, it's just behavior, they're just kids. And yeah.
But this reminds me of the whole thing about grading. Like one of the things that really stuck out to me with all the previous research that I read was back when they introduced grading in grade 6. It's so annoying that it's grade for both of those things.
Yeah.
Like, who came up with that?
I guess
you say Marx, but that's not so like that.
Yeah, Marx is more British English than American English.
Yeah. But anyway, when they were starting to grade from 6th, then
assign grades
from 6th, they were like doing one of the people were doing a test where basically they did some sort of like cognitive test sort of thing. I'm not sure what subjects it was on, but anyway, like these large tests that kids did in 6th grade and then again in 7th grade, and then they had but then one group got end of year grades in grade 6 and one group did not, and then they looked at the kids who achieved the lowest on the test. The group that got summative end of year grades in grade 6 and had achieved poorly on the test and thus also gotten poor grades, achieved much worse in grade 7 than those who achieved poorly on the test in grade 6 but did not get a summative grade that year.
They had the whole summer to just feel miserable.
Yep.
Oh, doesn't that just piss you off?
Yeah, it does. It's like, that's basically grades, and like the thing that all of the research agrees on is that grades are wonderful for the kids who do well, and they are miserable for the kids who do badly. Like that is like all the research. Like I did like I read a lot of American research, read a lot of Swedish research, bunch of like and research from other countries too, and everywhere. Like it's like pretty much universal from what I could find is that if you achieve well, then grades are a motivating factor. If you are low achieving, then grades convince you that you will always be low achieving.
Yeah, I can definitely resonate with that.
Oh, Dantes is here.
Dantes and Jim. He's a friend from the David Hoffman community. It's been a while. Just happened to stop by. Good to see you guys again. Yeah, it's only 9:30. It's not that bad.
Like we probably won't be going for a very long time more.
And
this was about neurodivergence testing. Whoa, thought my 6 hour was a long day. 4 hours of ADH1 so far. But private diagnosis, but after a 5-year wait, going by just now. Okay, yeah.
I want to see what Akia said here. They are also not great for the kids that get good grades. The grades might stay high, but mentally speaking, it's not all good. Like that pressure to perform.
Oh yeah, that's also like that's a thing. Like that. Okay, that was like our most clear thing of like in our research paper was like, well, we interviewed 8 kids who are about to get their first grades, and every single one of them, when we asked them like, so how are you feeling about getting grades, you said some variation of stressed, nervous, or like stressed or nervous, like all of them. Like that was pretty much the only constant, was that at some point in the interview they expressed stress, or they said they were stressed or nervous. Everyone.
And I feel like with the mentality that I grew up with, it's just like, well, so what? Suck it up. That's life. You know what I mean? Like there's no room to like question the system. The system is sacrosanct. Sacrosanct?
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about pronouncing it right.
Me neither.
But I love when people are like, let's tear down the system. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's also like, I will absolutely not enjoy setting grades. I'm like, that's not what I'm becoming a teacher for. I'm becoming a teacher to like help kids discover the joy of learning new things. And grades can often be a direct detriment to that joy.
But at least you have the vocabulary to explain that your worth is not tied to this. And if you're struggling, we're going to work together to figure out how you can get through it. And I just don't remember that being communicated. I mean, maybe it was. It was a long time ago. I graduated almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, but it's also like, but you were also, you went to American schools when they did a shift, pretty much the same shift that is like currently happening in Sweden, of like focusing much more on like standardized testing and like standardized summative grading, just because it's like, oh, you know, we got to make sure that we have to do the things that we can measure, because we can't measure the things.
I got so sick of standardized tests because, like, for some reason it was supposed to be every few years, but like there was a time when I was getting them every year that I had no incentive to care about this. So I would literally just do diagonals, filling in, making patterns on the tests.
Yep.
Why should I do this? What am I getting out of it?
And then I said, I boosted my grade from middle school to high school due to being on ADHD meds through high school. That's true. Of course, if something radically changes, then you can improve your grades.
I wonder if medication could have helped me in the places where I just could not have concentrated because I just couldn't. It was just too boring.
Yeah.
What did Dantes say? I'm so happy to see you. Sending love to you and your family. When does the little one arrive, guys? He's coming end of next month is the hope.
Yes.
But I could go for middle too. Middle works. Middle of November.
But yes, calculated somewhere on the cusp, like on when it shifts from November to December. Not like we've had estimates on both sides of that line.
Like exactly 4 weeks from now would work.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be 8-9 weeks.
I haven't had to show my high school grades for many, many years. Yeah, no. I mean, I had to show I suppose I had to show my high school grades just to when I applied for the university, but I didn't really need to because I did the entrance exam. I think it's basically the equivalent of the SATs, and I did very well on that.
One of the highest scores in the entire country of Sweden, not just Gotland, Sweden.
Yeah, it was it was with 30-something thousand people who took the test, and we were 16 who got the top mark, and I was one of those 16. But it's no big deal, really. And the funny thing is,
you deserve to be celebrated.
But the funny thing is, with that, I could have gone into any school in the country, pretty much. But I was like, no, but I want to do the teaching program here back home, which is small enough, has few enough applicants that everyone who had just any high school diploma could get in.
Weren't you in the top 3 of Gotland? Or top, of people in Gotland who took the test.
Oh, I was the only one on Gotland.
You're the only one.
That at that particular they do it you can do the test every semester. So just when I took it, I think maybe I might not have been the only one, but it wasn't.
But he got interviewed on the radio.
Yeah, and then I missed I missed being in the newspaper because I didn't see the request because they couldn't find me except on Facebook, so they just sent tried to catch me on Messenger, but it went into my message request, which I didn't check until a month later, and then it was it's old news now. Yeah, but I did get it on the radio.
That was pretty exciting. So Andreas is working with something really complicated at the moment. Arcade emulation.
Oh, that is fun.
Nice. I'm impressed. Okya says, I also was a teacher's assistant at uni, so I had to grade, which I hated. But helping first-year students understand special relativity was the absolute bomb.
Yes.
Nice.
Relativity is fun.
Your face is fun. And also got to help some students outside of the classroom too. That's really cool.
Yeah. Administration of the standardized tests. I only had 2.
I had them too many times.
I think when I did it, I think they were 6, 8, and 9 when I was doing them.
And the thing is, some of the schools that I went to were pretty poor inner city schools. So they were depending on these standardized tests to get more money for supplies. Because in America, you have to buy your own school supplies. You get this big, long list of what you need for each of your classes. It's so awesome that Sweden doesn't have that.
Yeah. Yes, I am good at standardized testing. As I said, that's the only reason I made it through school was that I can do a test, no problem. And I'm decent. Oh, I'm pretty good at standing out and talking in front of people.
Because
so
it works for you. Because for you to do something, you need a sense of urgency, and there's nothing else that I'm doing right now.
Yes.
So tests are perfect for you.
Yeah. Tests just perfectly create
that right
they create the things that I need to enter a flow state. It's
Jim, what did Jim say? They're having a
conversation.
They're having their own conversation. Jim says, I watched an autobiography on comedian George Carlin. He said he went to an experimental elementary school, I think in Texas, that didn't give grades. He said it helped him throughout his whole life. That's so cool that he got to experience that.
Yeah, and like
everybody should get to experience that. Just learning for learning's sake.
Yeah, and like
I never got that.
There are so many like alternative methods that like we know work better for people, but the whole thing is that for the sake of the schools, you need to be able to have results to look at, and so then that's what gets prioritized, even though it doesn't actually. But prioritizing results creates worse results.
Yeah, which follows people through their whole lives of either they earned the good grades and that's how they get their sense of worth, or they didn't and that's where they get their sense of not worth.
Yeah. It sounds strange. Maybe they were onto something. Yeah. There's like, and yeah, it's like, as I said, like a lot of research shows that like, no, grading doesn't really help too much. And like my favorite thing that I discovered was also like a study where they basically had just asked, this was 6th graders getting graded for the first time, and they were like just asking them like ahead of time, what grades do you think you'll be getting, and then comparing that to what they got, and it was like, oh hey, like the vast majority of them got exactly the grade they thought they were going to be, or thought they were going to get, or better. So it's like, which means that the actual grade didn't really give them any new information about how they were doing, but it's psychologically a big difference to get it on the paper. It's like that's just, yeah.
I noticed a lot of people when they were finished with the theater company that we were with really craved going to school and getting grades. They really craved that feeling of acknowledgement of their work and seeing the result.
Yeah.
When you've had a job where there's this vague, these are the goals that you should have, but the goals are dependent upon other people and you can't control other people. So
yeah.
But I was just thinking about how rough it is for the people that are the opposite of you. They can learn really well. They can focus really well, but the second it became a test, it's just absolute fear, absolute lack of concentration.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But I was also thinking, I'm ready to get off of my butt on this chair and go put my butt on a different chair that hurts less.
Yes, I think I'm about done. But yeah, as I said, I've been hey Jerry, we were just about to.
You're just about to go, but I can give you.
Happy you're here.
Now that since before we go, I'll give you a bump shot. Bound chicka wow wow. I'm ginormous. Whoa! Look at how it's like.
Well, yeah, you can see like he is like. He's leaning up against it right there.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
Oh, no whale.
I've been working hard on that project for a while, but that also means like the last 2 weeks I was like working full time on finishing the project. So I haven't been able to do any actual work for money. So now I've been getting work done this like it's pretty cool that I've been working at the same school both yesterday and today, and we'll be going back.
There's internet.
Oh, okay. Hello, internet. And yes, so I worked for 5th grade yesterday, 3rd grade today. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be the music teacher. And when I left the school, the regular music teacher had not turned in any sort of lesson plans, so I'll see what I'm doing tomorrow.
It's music. You could go in there with Better work.
I'm going to be talking about genres, and then I'm going to be doing like playing a song and then playing a cover of the song in a different genre, and like talk about that. That's my plan. If I don't get a plan, I'm like that's something I know I can do that at like a minute's notice.
Dude, you could literally like do that for a year, every day going into it not having any clue. And have something to talk about or do.
Oh, yeah. Yes, the internet is telling us to go to bed.
Yes, it is. Okay, internet, fine. Yes. Wait, I just spat at my screen.
Okay, well, so, bye. Thanks for hanging out.
Nostrils of Death.